Welcome back. Last time we looked at putting values into data structures and then quit R directly from the script document and that put it into the console, and it quit the whole R Studio down. So that was interesting for me. I hadn't tried it exactly like that before. So we're picking up on now, we're still in Chapter 3 of an introduction to R, and we're going to be looking at the functions that will tell us a little bit more about the data structures that we have assigned. So the first thing that we're going to do, we'll just keep following along. We're on page 29. So the first assignment that we're looking at is just the square root. File cannot be specified. For some reason it seems to do this when I haven't saved it recently. Let's see if I save it. Let me check. Not quite sure what does that, but if I save it, it wouldn't let me save it, but if I save it as another name, then it's okay with it. I wonder if it has to do with closing it down. I'm not quite too sure about that. Again, if someone knows what that is, feel free to tell me. That would be useful. Anyway, we're going to continue on looking at just if we do the square root of 5 and we run it. Alright, let me try this one more time. I tried to close it down and it wouldn't let me, and it said that R had been aborted. Alright, that time it worked. I think closing R this way maybe made R Studio very unhappy with me. So there's been several times now that it's done that and I haven't quite figured out why. So I may close it down a different way next time, not that way. Alright, so we will go ahead and assign. Okay, so what he's explaining is this one in front of here indicates that it is a vector, but we can still test it out to know if it is a vector. So the first thing we're going to do here is do an assignment, put the square root of 5 into AA, assign it. We've created an AA, which shows up here. And now we're going to test is vector, so this should be a true or false. And let's see, it tells us true, it is a vector. So the next thing that we can test is class. So what kind of vector is AA? And it is numeric. We can also test out the length, how long it is. There's just one number in there. And interesting, so we can also define empty vectors. Oops. We're doing an assignment. Oh, we're just making up the name of a new variable, empty. Making it a vector of length 3. So it'll be a vector with 3 something, and it'll be empty. Interesting. So if we look and see that it's empty, logic makes it false, false, false. So it's not numeric, not integer, not characters. Doesn't look like we're doing anything more with it. That particular one right now, maybe we'll come back to it. I wonder if we could define it as something else as we go in specifically. He's not having us, so we won't right now. Alright, we have another a.name, so we're making a new data structure, and we're putting into it the characters James. Go ahead and run it. See, it's appeared here. And now we're going to check out some information about it. So we're going to check out the class for a.name. And we see that it is a character class. If we want to see the length, I'm going to guess that it's again going to give us 1 because there's only one set of quotations. A.name. Run it. It is 1. We're going to give ourselves a new variable. Oops, not name. Numbers. Looks like I need to put parentheses, so we'll display. And we're putting together 1, 2, 3. So a vector with 3 numbers. All right, let's run it. There we go. Numbers 1, 2, 3. It also displayed out here. And we're going to make one called names. We'll put into it James, Jonathan, Jean-Luc. And all my parentheses are there. So I will run it. Ooh, unexpected. Unexpected comma. Let me just pause and look. Okay, I see. You can't just list things out. You have to use a function that puts them together. So the C, which again I think is concatenate, although I should probably look that up. Let's run it again. There we go. Much better. So moving on, we are going to create more variables, numbers 1, and we're going to put into them 1, 2, 3, and in the same line, numbers. We'll keep the same that he is doing, and we will put into that 4, 5, and 6. Let's run it. Okay, we've got them all. And do I want to type all that? Alright, I'm going to do, alright, I'll go ahead and do it. No, I don't want to do it. I'll do numbers 1.2. That's the numbers 1 and numbers 2. And we'll use append. So we're appending 2 vectors, and then we list out the 2 vectors. And let's see. So then there's one right after the other. I didn't put my parentheses around it like he shows. So if we want to see it displayed on the bottom in the console, then we would see it that way. So it looks like our next step is to do some arithmetic with vectors. So the first one is going to be just to add 2 vectors, numbers 1 plus numbers 2. And so it looks that this will add the first 2 from each vector. So the 1 and 4, 2 and 5, 3 and 6. And 1 and 4, 2 and 5, 3 and 6, just as we would expect. Alright, so looks like we are already on to creating a new variable, and we're putting into it the number 10. Oh, and now we are multiplying our vector of numbers 1 times 10. So this should multiply each number in the vector by 10. So we'd end up with 10, 20, 30. Let's see. There we go. All right. Looks like we're putting 2 values into BB now rather than just 10. Now we have 10 and 20. Now we're multiplying numbers by 10 and 20. So it'll multiply first 2, second 2, and then the first by the third. Longer option is not a multiple. Interesting. So you just plain can't do that? I'm surprised. Oh, wait, you can do it. It did multiply them, but it's just warning you that it may have done something that you didn't expect because one's a shorter object. Okay, no problem, because I knew that. So the next one is we're going to give names to numbers. We're assigning them first, second, third. Okay, I'm a little curious now because we have names here. Now we're giving names to numbers. So I think this must be a names tied to numbers and nothing to do with these. Oh, I guess we could check it out. I missed the last part of this. As we're running, this should just display what's in numbers. Okay, so it gave names to this vector. Interesting. And then it looks like we move right on. So really close. So I'm going to see if we can finish this up in the time we have. All right, we're going to do a mixture assigning both numbers and characters. Let's see what happens. Got them both in there, but they are all as characters. All right, we're going to do a string of numbers. What did we do? What did string do? Oh, a structure. All right. And structure, we want to know what the structure of numbers is. All right. And of mixture. And it is characters. Got it. All right, I think that that's where we're going to stop for right now.